Ghislaine Maxwell, as I'm sure you know, appeared in court via video link yesterday for her first day, facing charges of sex trafficking for Jeffrey Epstein, to which she has pleaded not guilty. She'll now face a year in jail without bail to await trial next July, they reckon. Well, lawyer Lisa Bloom is representing 6 of the victims and joins me now. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We really appreciate it. And it would have been extraordinary, wouldn't it, if she had been granted bail?
Well, typically people are granted bail, at least the opportunity to try to make bail, because they are innocent until they're proven guilty. So it was unusual that she was denied bail, but the facts here really required it. She has 3 different passports. She has over $20 million, and it appears as though she has been hiding and evading the law over the last few months. So it made sense to deny her bail.
What did you think of her demeanour? What did you think of the way that she sort of presented herself, if you like?
Well, from what I saw, she cried at the end when bail was denied because she probably knows that means she's going to be incarcerated at least until trial, as you say, at least 1 year, and maybe for the rest of her life, maybe for decades. And so I'm sure that was real. The consequences of her actions are catching up to her.
Why are we waiting or having to wait for a whole year for that? Is that quite usual to wait for a year for a trial like this?
It's the most aggravating part of what I do, the slow turning of the wheels of justice. Yes, it is common to get a trial date a year out. And I can tell you, with COVID slowing everything down in the courts, it could be quite a bit longer than that before she gets to trial.
And so far, the reaction from the women that you represent to the fact that she has been charged, how are they feeling now?
Well, as you say, I represent 6 women who allege that they were abused by Jeffrey Epstein, and one of those also has claims against Ghislaine Maxwell for sexual abuse. And she was really upset and traumatized at the mere mention of Ghislaine Maxwell's name. It's not a happy day for her. She hates, she wishes she would never hear the name again. But she is pleased that the wheels of justice do seem to be turning and that the courts are finally taking this seriously. It's been decades that these victims have been trying to get justice.
Well, as we said, we know that she's going to be in jail until July in remand. We do know what happened to Jeffrey Epstein in jail, that he took his own life. Although some, I'm sure you know of the conspiracy theories, some say that he was murdered, that's out there. Enormous pressure on the authorities to make sure that she actually stays alive, that she will go to trial.
Well, yes, absolutely, because my clients were devastated when Jeffrey Epstein was allowed to escape justice by taking his own life, if that's what happened, as you say. There's a lot of suspicion around that. And so, of course, they should keep a close eye on her. And frankly, they should keep a close eye on everyone who's incarcerated to make sure that they're doing okay, that they're not taking their own life. We have the camera technology. They should be watched 24/7. It really shouldn't be that hard or even that expensive. But with Ghislaine Maxwell, it's absolutely imperative that they do keep an eye on her.
Do you think, though, ultimately she will be in a courtroom? Because people are saying she could cut a deal if she decides to sing like a canary. There could be plea bargaining. All of this. What's your gut feeling?
95% of our cases end in plea bargains, so that would not surprise me. But I don't think at this stage the prosecutors would give her a deal if it did not include very serious prison time. And I don't think she would accept that at this point. Her lawyers have some technical arguments to make, trying to get the case thrown out on statute of limitations grounds, which is saying that it was filed too late, saying that there was a deal that Jeffrey Epstein made, a non-prosecution agreement deal that should get her case thrown out. So I think her lawyers will make those arguments first. If they fail, and I think they will fail, then the two sides could very seriously start talking about a plea bargain. I know a lot of people think that Ghislaine Maxwell is going to sing like a canary and talk about other powerful people, and that that's why she was arrested. I don't really agree with that. I think she was the primary target. She was arrested for her own actions, which were very significant over decades, affecting scores of girls and young women. She may have information about others, but I don't think that would give her much lighter of a deal.
And are there implications here for Prince Andrew, who, as has been well documented, was a friend of Epstein? I mean, could he potentially, should it go to court, be called as a witness?
Certainly he could. He's not above the law. No one is above the law. People from the US testify in cases in the UK and vice versa all the time. We have cooperation agreements. Our countries are friendly. I hope it remains that way. And we help each other get justice in cases. So, of course, because he's a royal, it's a little bit more complicated. He initially said he would cooperate, and then he has not cooperated. His attorneys say he offered to give a written statement, but that's not really how investigations work. So I think it's all the more important that he does cooperate now and sit down with investigators. You know, he previously said, I wasn't all that close with Jeffrey Epstein. Really, my friend was Ghislaine Maxwell. Well, she's the one front and center now. So all the more reason for him to talk to the investigators.
Something that was very powerful yesterday, and I am aware she's not a client of yours, but Annie Farmer, who was one of Epstein's victims, she made a very powerful statement in court. And I think in all of this, you know, with the royal involvement and all of that, you sometimes forget about what happened to these girls. And that was incredibly powerful, wasn't it?
Yes, and I'm so glad you said that because it's all about the victims for me, for my clients, for Annie Farmer, and really should be for all of us. Annie Farmer and her sister Maria Farmer have been trying since the 1990s to get justice against Jeffrey Epstein. They were turned away, they were ignored. Law enforcement did not take them seriously. Jeffrey Epstein got a sweetheart deal in 2008. So for her to be speaking out now is just a testament to her tenacity, her perseverance, her strength. She is truly an inspiration to me.
Lisa, do you think that justice will be done? Do you actually have high hopes that this will end well for the people that you're representing?
I'd say I'm cautiously optimistic, Lorraine. You know, the justice system has let these victims down before, but we are in a new era. In the Me Too era, victims are increasingly believed. And I don't think these prosecutors would have brought the charges if they didn't think they had the proof beyond a reasonable doubt. So at a minimum, I think they're going to fight hard for the victims. And that's a very encouraging sign.
Lisa Bloom, as always, thank you for joining us. We really
Thank you.
appreciate it. Thank you so much. Don't forget, you can watch full episodes of Lorraine on the ITV Hub and all the best clips, compilations and playlists right here on our channel. Just subscribe now and you'll never miss an upload. Click here to watch another video similar to this one, or click here to head to our channel's homepage to explore all of our exciting videos.